Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very exciting live episode of Messi and Co. World Cup. Huge upset that just happened. I don't even know, my brain can't even process what to say or how to say it. It's just, we're here to do kind of like our post group stage, getting ready for the knockouts, talking about how the tournament has been thus far. And Germany gets knocked out by Paraguay in the round of 32 in what is for sure one of the biggest upsets in a while for the World
History,
Cup.
World Cup history.
And it's crazy, and we'll have to get into it and give our reactions. But obviously, I want to say hello to my friends Gian and Javi for joining. Let's just start there because I mean, look, we have an endless amount of things to talk about. This has been an exceptional World Cup so far. I think we can all agree it's been amazing on the field, off the field. All the stories we're hearing, the fans, everyone going around the U.S. and like loving it, and it's been awesome. But let's start with what this historical upset. There will be, of course, a little bit of challenging to it because of the VAR decisions, some that obviously took away a goal from Germany, and there were some decisions here and there. But you got to say that overall, like, Germany didn't go into that game acting like they're one of the favorites, like similarly to what we've seen. I mean, it almost happened earlier today with Brazil and Japan, and yesterday even with Canada. Like, teams are allowing the lesser, quote unquote, lesser teams to dictate the play and to not be aggressive and to do a block or to whatever. And Germany didn't look like they wanted it, and in the end, they lost. It's crazy.
The World Cup has begun. June Madness is here, right?
Right? Yeah.
Big upset. But what you mentioned, the powers that be in world football, they're not playing great, right? They don't look like they're playing amazing where they're at a different level than the rest of the teams. And what I mean is they're accessible, they're beatable, each and every one of them. Even Argentina, who has won their 3 games, it's been against lesser opponents, but they don't look like they're unstoppable. It's not like when you had these times where the favorites just outclassed everybody. It looks like it's a very even, very open World Cup, and that it's open for anybody right now. For the teams that are remaining, it's been the rise of Africa. You see so many of the African teams coming in. Now you see the South American teams. Paraguay, who would have thought this after the first match against USA, where they outclassed 4-1 and were just looked terrible, right? And even their star goalie Xavier, historically, just said, hey, they didn't have the guts, they didn't play with, because Paraguay is known for garra, also for being tough, and look where they're at now. It's amazing. It's been great, and all the things you mentioned have been fantastic about this World Cup. Everything that's happened around it, it's beautiful.
Gian?
Yeah, look, I think that the World Cup is the World Cup because of the surprises. It's what makes it incredible, honestly. I think every World Cup you find these teams that you think are going not like that they're not going to be able to beat the big dogs out here, and they go and they do it. I mean, Germany, you would have never expected it. Like Xavi said, when are you going to expect Germany to lose to Paraguay? But Paraguay is a tough team, a team from South America. I always going to root for the Conmebol teams because I think that they bring something that is intangible. There are a lot of intangibles that the South American teams bring that a lot of these European teams aren't used to. And even like you mentioned, Xavi, too, about like the African teams. Like the African teams also bring some intangibles that some of these European teams aren't used to. I think that in Europe, they're used to more of a cleaner game, pretty, play by all the rules, and these African and South American teams, they don't necessarily do that. One of the things that they're really good at is getting underneath the skin of their opponents and teetering on the line of what is, I would say, legal and illegal within the game, right? They're able to get in those extra shots. They'll scuff you with their boots when you're not, they're really good at that. Sometimes obviously they go a little overboard, cough, cough, Uruguay, but you know, these are the things that make some of these teams so unpredictable in the World Cup. And honestly, I've enjoyed it tremendously. And one thing I'll say too briefly is some of these really historically good teams, aside from maybe the top three, when I think about like Argentina with Messi, Spain with guys like Lamine Yamal, France with Dembélé, Mbappé. Like these are historically good teams when we talk about Germany, Netherlands, some of these other big teams, but they're not. They don't have some of that star power I think that you're used to maybe from other World Cups in the past. So it's like, despite the history, a lot of these teams are beatable. In honesty, like they're very beatable teams. So, but I've enjoyed it. I've loved what I've seen so far.
The only two superpowers that have looked the role so far, to me, in my opinion, has been France and Argentina. You know, favorites, right? They've been the favorites since the last 2, 3 World Cups, and they look the part now, but they still look like they're accessible. And this victory by Paraguay opens up, you know, knocks the bracket wide open and opens up the eyes of the rest of the underdogs in this tournament. They say, yeah, you know what? They can do it. Why not us? And I think all these teams are striving to be the first time winner, because it's always been repeated, right? So it's been the same 8 nations that have won the World Cup. And I thought it was going to be the previous one, but maybe in this one it's the one where you get a first time winner. And I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, you know, I think we're gonna, as you can see in the title, like we're gonna go through our predictions before that. We didn't see how many of them are right and wrong. We'll all give away some are wrong. If you can tell, this World Cup has been absolutely amazing. And we're gonna talk Messi. We're gonna
We're
talk.
not psychic. We're not psychic or witch doctors like those that are over there.
Not witch doctors. No, not witch doctors. But I'll tell you what, pleasantly surprised with so much. And before we get to the on the field and talk about the games outside of what we saw in the round of 32, let's talk a little bit more about just the overall experience of this World Cup. Because starting with the Tartan Army from Scotland arriving in America a few weeks ago, Freddie LA7 from Germany, who now I don't think we're going to be getting much more, which is a shame because he seemed like a nice kid. If it was real, which I think it was. You know, the Netherlands, the orange, right? Like we're seeing fans everywhere, and what we're seeing even more than that, because you see fans at every World Cup, even in Qatar, we saw, you know, the faithful fans are there. But what's been so exciting and amazing, and this is true with Mexico and Canada as well, the people, the citizens of these countries and the locals are just loving having the World Cup here and are celebrating these different cultures, celebrating these people, the fun of the World Cup, the passion of the World Cup. And I think that's been the best part, because, you know, we're not a political show, no need to get into politics or anything like that. But obviously the world's some unrest, the US, there's always things going on. People weren't sure what it was going to turn out to be, right? Like there was a lot of instability in terms of how they thought the World Cup was going to go. And so far, I think it's blown everyone out of the water. It's been awesome. And I love that all these people around the world are getting such like a great impression of Americans, and you know, the kindness and the fun and the excitement and the history and the culture. And so for me, it's been just as awesome off the field than what I've seen on the field.
I mean, it's been fantastic for USA, right? Not just for the marketing and publicity that's been free, because the people have come over and said, wow, you know what, they've lied to us. They told us something different, which is fantastic that they're getting that positive image. And the team is playing fantastic and great. The tournament's being great.
We're going to get there.
Same thing's happening with Mexico. Mexico played, you know, a fantastic first group stage. They look like a strong team. The fans, the experience in Mexico has been great. You see that through social media. The duck has been the mascot of the tournament, right? And then Canada gets out of the group stage, wins their first game, is making history. That's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, Gian, you're muted. Sorry.
I was saying the Norwegians and the rowing of the boats.
The Norwegian. That's been amazing. Yeah.
The Scottish are devouring all the beer and just leaving all the bars dry.
Most exciting Marlins game in last 20 years.
that is probably the most. I mean, aside from the World Cup of baseball, whatever, like, this is
2003. It was
the most exciting.
Over 20 years ago. Yeah,
the biggest party in the world, and everybody's seen it now. So and people are understanding. Okay, especially in the United States, it's like, okay, this is really okay. So soccer really is the world sport. So it really, you guys weren't exaggerating. I mean, this is this big. Yes. It is this big, and what you said is fantastic. That the cultures coming together, the people coming together, sharing jerseys, exchanging jerseys, dancing together, partying, having a great time, and
I've
just
seen friendship bracelets being given out, which is
just being human, just being
Taylor Swift
human,
fan. I like that.
Loving each other, loving their teams, but just loving being together and learning about the different foods, the cultures. What you said, it's been fantastic. When you get all these people talking about Buc-ee's, and we're not getting sponsorship from these people, unfortunately. But Buc-ee's and on all these places that Walmart, whatever, people are having a great time. And
Golden Corral.
And I don't know if you guys read it, but there's a Japanese guy that writes like a samurai, and he's talking about experience and stuff. It's not necessarily the World Cup stuff, but it's been happening now, and it's been outrageous. It's just been fantastic. It's been a great experience. I mean,
it shows that despite everything that FIFA, despite in all the ways he went wrong about this tournament, the love for the game just surpasses that. Because honestly, like if we would really
the love for humanity,
all the thing with the prices
that
they've everything that they've done, but people are like, they just love the game so much, and it's shown.
Despite FIFA, it's been a huge success so far.
Patriotism wins out, really, and that's across everywhere. There's the pride, but what I think is also what's been amazing is it's the pride, but it's equivalent of the pride and the respect for those around you. Like, we see it obviously, especially we've seen it in South America. We've seen with La Liga, with El Clasico, etc. Things can get chippy for sure. Fans can fight and players fight, etc. But the overwhelming thing you see, like when you look across and you're looking at your compadre, you're looking at someone has their face painted, maybe it's for the other team. You respect the joy and the passion and the togetherness, and that's what you're seeing. And it's been great. Yeah, Europeans getting a taste of South American teams, that's for sure. We're seeing that a lot, and also getting a taste of the United States. Okay, well, so shout out to the people, because to your point, maybe FIFA, maybe government, maybe all these things are factors that we're going against it. But people, real people, fans, communities, man, have you seen the town in Kansas where Algeria was headquartered, and these people that have known for over the last 2 years took French lessons so they could communicate with the Algerian team when they came here over the last 2 years, and all wore jerseys and took off work just because they were hosting them in their city. How amazing is that? A town in Kansas, like, it makes you think that's America. That's what we're about, man. And it's been amazing to see. So shout out to that. I hope the tournament just keeps getting better as things go on. Okay, but so Gian, I'm going to let you dictate because you're our tech guy. Should we talk about two things before we look at predictions, or are you ready to do predictions, and do we do things while? You tell me, because I have a couple other things I can talk about before we go through the predictions.
If you want to spend a few minutes on, what I'm gonna set this up so that we can view it on here, whether it's through the original app that we had before, or if it's through the images that we have, the screenshots, we'll get it up on there so that we can go ahead and compare. But if you want, let's go on to the next thing, and then we'll jump right into the prediction.
Perfect. Okay. Well, then I'm going to talk about something. I referenced it earlier. Let me talk about this really quick. Okay. Let me talk about this. The United States men's national team. Yeah. Show it.
Love that one.
The United States men's national team has played, and I'm going to even include Turkey because it was the B team. It was, whatever, playing to the last whistle, the last minute. This U.S. men's national team have played the best soccer I have ever seen the U.S. men's national team play in
Without a
my
doubt.
30 years of existence. And the way they are playing through Mauricio Pochettino, the way they are playing for each other, the effort they're putting in from minute 1 to minute 90 is so amazing. What, again, against that first game against Paraguay, the Paraguay that just beat Germany and knocked out Germany, absolutely took the floor with them. Australia, there wasn't a second of doubt. And those and I just, you know what? They have a hard draw, and we'll get into that. But let me tell you something. I am so proud and impressed with this team and what Mauricio Pochettino has done. Give him whatever contract he asks for. I hope he doesn't go to AC Milan or Inter Milan or any of that. I hope the extension they offer is so fruitful that he has to deny it, because what he has done and transformed and taught these players to play from the heart, to play hard, to play with spirit, to play for togetherness. It's amazing. And you know what? They may just screw around and win the whole thing. We may see
Win a chip. Win a chip.
They may just, you know what? I'm telling you, like, we're dreaming big here, but I gotta say, by far the most incredible surprise and greatness that I've seen from this U.S. team. Am I being
I'm a little bit older,
or you agree?
I'm a little bit older than you, so I'm not gonna say my age. But let me tell you, you're spot on. They have never played to this level, and I don't recall a team as balanced all around as this one, and with the subs on the bench coming off with high quality. And the coach, they've had some good coaches along the way, and they've evolved and tried. This has been going on. This has been happening for longer than you've been born, right? So this has been a stepping stone, and what greater moment than a 250-year anniversary of this country for this team to step up and just play fantastic. Not only did they win, they lost the last game, but we'll toss it out. But the way they're playing, it looks nice. It's fantastic. It looks like a different level. They look like they're one of those higher caliber teams, and they look deep and they look hungry. And the coach is showing that he knows, what he's doing. He was highly questioned, highly doubted towards the end, but he kept his thoughts, his process. He knew what he was doing, right? He knew he's been through this as a player. He played at the highest levels, and he was like not only teaching the players, but sometimes like the media and stuff, like telling them, hey, relax. We need, this is this, and this is the way you do, and this is a process. It's great. USA, man. Let's hope they go. Let's hope they go really, really far. I got two teams in this tournament. I would love for them to meet up at the end. That would be fantastic, because then there's no way I can lose.
I love it. Well, read Gian really quickly. Before you go on, I want to just ask a question, and then you can go on, right? Let's do it starting with this question. What if I were to tell you that we were going to get 4 halves of the best U.S. men's national team play that we've seen mostly in our lifetime? Sorry, it was between mostly and mainly in our lifetime. Without a doubt, the best team on the field, as confident as ever, 60,000 people singing Country Roads, everyone's togetherness from goalie to forward. And for 3 of those 4 halves, for 75% of those times, Christian Pulisic was not on the field.
I would have said you asked the perfect time to ask that. You chose the perfect time to ask that question in this World Cup. I mean, it's just incredible. Pulisic, unfortunately, with the injury, but the fact that you didn't have your star, your Superman on the field, and that everybody else was able to carry the team on their shoulders, I think it's incredible. You had guys stepping up. I mean, playing incredible. I think about Serginho Dest just absolutely balling out. I love how, like, you compare how they used to play him in Barcelona as that right back, and then he moves up more as a winger, and the U.S. is able to use his speed, his ability to take players, open up spaces. I think has been incredible for this USA team. Probably one of the standouts for me. Balogun playing absolutely
Let's talk about it.
Out of his mind. I love Weston McKennie, amazing Tillman. Like these guys are. It's like you knew that these guys were good. Obviously, looking at the teams that they played on, again, McKennie, Juventus, Dest, AC Milan for Pulisic, but to see them all play together and play good at the same time, at the right moment, and play above what you thought. Like you knew they were good, but to play, I think, at their fullest potential, I mean, talk about timing. Like everything seems to be clicking. And then you look at this game right now. Paraguay just beat Germany, and you see that they beat the same Paraguay team 4-1. Like I think 2 weeks ago, you saying that this team could win it all, I would laugh like out loud, and I'd be like, you're crazy. But to see how this team has connected and played so well, like it's not like, is it going to be tough? Yes. Are the odds against them? Yes. But do they have everything put together and looking right to make a run to the final? 100%. So, if they made a run to the final, would I be surprised? A bit surprised. But would I be like, yeah, there was no way that was going to happen, I didn't see it coming? No. Like this team it's just honestly been incredible.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There really is. I mean, that's how the quality you're seeing, and it's the quality. First of all, we know the team has quality in the golden generation. We've been talking about the likes of Pulisic, of Gio Reyna, of Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, etc.
Alex Freeman
for years. We've been talking about, right, this team that's been building, and they're all great in their individual places. But what makes this team so dangerous and so amazing is that they operate as the sum of their parts. They operate like together as a unit that from every stage is playing amazing. Like, to give an example, obviously they're a favorite, and they probably will or could win and get into final. France, for example, they're playing like they have 3 or 4 of the best players in the world, and everyone else is like, okay, right? Spain, I think you're not seeing the same firecracker. England, you're seeing it because you have the Harry Kanes, and you have, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham. They are taking the team over the top, etc. Like Brazil, you're seeing with Vinny. But the U.S., yeah, Balogun's been amazing. Serginho Dest's been amazing. But they are all operating
a collective
inch of each other. It's a perfectly well-oiled machine. Look at Tim Ream. MLS, this age, we saw his captain, didn't think he was going to play. He's held his own out there. He really has. And just, well, it's been just, oh God, it's been awesome. It's been such a treat, I think, to see. And that's what takes teams far. If they can continue playing together, that's what keeps ships floating,
It is 100%. And look, I also have 3 teams here, so I'm excited. You got, I know, Xavier, you got 2. How many do you have, Ash?
I have 3.
I have 3 as well. I've got Ecuador first, and then I've got Colombia and USA. Those are my 3 teams. And so far so good. So I mean, it's scary at times, at least for one of my teams. But I mean, this is incredible. By the way, whenever you're ready, I do have the bracket so that we can take a look real quick.
Put it up.
I have US, England, and then Argentina are my 3 teams that I'm rooting for very heavily, that I have a very vested interest in. Happy for you guys for Colombia, though. Like, I hope you do well.
Colombia, USA, and anybody South America keeps moving forward until we meet them.
I love that. All right. Okay. So let's talk about it. I don't know if we want to go by group, or if we want to just kind of talk about a few of the biggest surprises.
That's me. I'm trying to set this up the easiest way that we can. I'm going to make this as big as possible here so that we can go ahead and see what we were at. It's kind of like,
well, we can do it, and I think we can probably, we don't have to go through every single game and every single fixture, but we can probably where's Xavi? Xavi's gone.
I'm here in the back.
This is what we're gonna do here for this in the meantime, so that we
there we go. That's yeah. Okay, I figured. Yeah, okay. So let's go through this and talk about some of the big storylines, and then we'll get into how it's gonna look throughout. So Group A was a big surprise, and that is South Korea being eliminated in the group stage. Now, I honestly, I don't know that much about the South Korean team, but I do know about Heung-min Song because I'm a Tandem fan, and I love him, and I feel terrible for him that this is what's happened. I also love K-pop, so I love South Korea. Honestly, love K-pop, and so I feel bad because There's apparently a lot of drama with the coach and the way they play, and there's a lot of like not, I don't know if corruption's a term, but like a lot of people that were unhappy before the tournament, and now obviously with a huge surprise in the fact that they were eliminated in the group stage. South Africa advanced, but you know, didn't. That was a surprise because after watching their first game against Mexico, I was like, this team does not look like it's supposed to be in a World Cup. But hey, they made it out. Obviously, Canada gets eliminated. But yeah, was South Korea a big surprise to you guys, or not too much?
I thought so. I mean, probably for the same reasons you did. I mean, I know that they're typically, I think, a good team, right? Like I specifically like these Asian teams. I love how they play. I like Japan is a great team. South Korea I've always liked as well. Obviously Son I thought was going to be huge for them, and just didn't happen. And again, these African teams continue to surprise some of us, right? Some of them are surprises, some aren't. Obviously you expect some, things like the Ivory Coast and but a team like South Africa, maybe I didn't necessarily see them coming out second in the group.
Oh, you're muted, I think, Xavi.
Yeah, I recall we mentioned that this was a pretty even group. We didn't think it was like anybody was way ahead of the other, but we had Mexico winning the group, and that was correct.
Yeah, and Mexico has, to be fair to Mexico, Raul Jimenez and the whole team, they, in front of their home fans, have been great and have put in some great performances, great energy in the country as well. And obviously Raul Jimenez who had such a terrible injury a few years ago. Great to see. It was cool, but yeah, definitely some surprises there. Okay, Group B.
We nailed it. Group B, we nailed it.
We nailed it. Yeah, Switzerland. I feel like you forget actually how many players are on Switzerland. Like I'm drawing a blank right now, but like watching it, you see and you're like, oh, I recognize a lot of these players. So they have a pretty, I think, strong, robust team. Canada, they had a lot of expectations last World Cup. They didn't live up to it. This World Cup with Jesse March, you're seeing a much more dominant team. You're also that's even with Alphonso Davies not playing all of it, but you have Jonathan David. You have a lot of talent there, and I think it's great that all three teams that are hosting are delivering on the field as well, right? And so Canada, they advance, they win yesterday versus South Africa, so they're in the round of 16. Completely new for them, and something that you didn't expect to see coming. So pretty amazing. And then in third place, a team that had to beat Italy and Wales in order to get to this World Cup. People don't think about that, but in the World Cup playoffs just a few months ago, Bosnia and Herzegovina beat Italy and Wales to advance, and now they have advanced all the way to the round of 32. Going to be playing against the U.S. Wednesday. Pretty amazing for such a small country and a country that has not been in it in a while. Like, shout out to them. They're consistent as can be.
And
no surprises here.
I mean, next group, we got it too, I think, right? We got it, except that the last two teams were not able. Scotland and Haiti, neither one was able to pass to the next round.
I know. Scotland, though, they played better than I thought, and
no Scotland, but the party continues. The party
does continue. Let's talk about.
Yeah, Brazil. I wonder if they're staying. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to leave. It's just if you're here all this time with all the.
I've seen so many over the last week and a half. There have been so many Scottish jerseys because I live near Wynwood. I'm in sort of like a fun area of Miami, and oh my God, everywhere you look, literally full of people with Scottish jerseys, drinks in hand, enjoying the sunshine. Happy for them. But yeah, unfortunately, their time comes to an end. Haiti as well. Morocco obviously is going to be playing the Netherlands in a little bit, and that's going to be an absolutely
great game.
It's going to be a great game, and we'll preview it in a second. But let's talk about Brazil, because I think Brazil is actually exactly what I thought Brazil was going to be. I think they still have that aura, that excitement. Some of course, you see players like a Vinicius Jr. You're seeing, even Casemiro. You're seeing Bruno Guimaraes. that are elite top level football players. But the overall team is not, firing the way of Brazil teams of the past. And today, they are losing in their game, and before you know it, like that, they're able to turn things around, get the win with a stoppage time winner by Gabriel Martinelli. So yeah, they're in the round of 16. Not a surprise, but they don't feel like this.
They're not convincing. They're not
right,
convincing.
not convincing. And do you agree, disagree?
They have a lot of firepower. They have a lot of firepower, but they're not playing the Jogo Bonito. Their style has changed. They still have the stars, but none of these stars have the aura of a Ronaldo, Nazario, the fat man, the real Ronaldo to me. They don't have the aura of Ronaldinho. They don't have the aura of Kaká. These teams that just these guys were at higher level than Mount Olympus, you would say. No, these guys are accessible, just like Germany. Germany's still Germany, but they're reachable and they're beatable.
Yeah.
Each team is beatable. Let me say that in the tournament. But these guys were always at a different level, and they don't seem to be there now. But it's a very dangerous team. It looks like it's going from less. I was just talking to, when I picked up my kids, one of the girls is Brazilian, and I told her, hey, you guys won. And she wasn't happy. She said it didn't look good. And I told her, but
Japan's a good team. Yeah.
The only thing that matters is you keep winning, right? Because at the end, if you win it all, nobody cares, but you got to keep winning. So Brazil is still a very dangerous team. It's not the same aura, but it's still a very dangerous team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought the same thing, Xavi. Like, I mean, to me, I think of Brazil and I think of Ronaldinho, Kaká, Cafu, Dunga,
Carlos, all of those.
And since that squad, I've never seen any team, I think, come close to like that aura. So I mean, I think this is as good a team that Brazil has had in a while. I would say, at least from that perspective. And they're missing Rafinha, who, in my opinion, is their best player. So
what a shame.
But hey, despite the fact that they're first, and I think that it's up to them if they get far or not. They've certainly have the team to fight with,
compete,
with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Morocco.
Morocco's always a good team. I feel like Morocco's always a good team. They're
going to see tonight. We're going to see tonight firsthand what
we're going to see. This is a big game tonight. Like, this is an early Titan match, right? Like, it's one of those matches where, like, you could see either team making it very far in the tournament, and the fact that it's happening right away in the round of 32 is like, oof.
What a tough draw for these guys to get each other. That's one really good team is going to go home tonight.
Yeah. Who do you think? Just off, like, just predictions, or I guess we're going to do the round of 32. We're going to do the predictions, right, Gian? So we're going to go through that live.
Yeah, we can brush through it quickly. So as far as Brazil, Morocco, I'm gonna lean with Brazil on this one.
Morocco and Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I'm going with no, actually I'm going with Netherlands. Never mind. I have to go with that. Remember the financier said that the Netherlands is winning this year. So.
The economist, the German economist. The German economist. All right. Now
I'm doing Netherlands as well, but Morocco keeps being there, and every time everyone's like, whoa, I can't believe Morocco is that good, but they've been that good for over 4 years now, with the likes of a Hakimi and a lot of great players, a great core. You won't be surprised. Like, it would be, wow, I can't believe Netherlands lost, but Morocco, they keep winning, so we'll see. But yeah, my bet's on Netherlands. And then Group D, I don't think we really need to go through it that much, except for the fact that Paraguay, with this absolutely stunning victory against Germany, it'll be interesting to see how they play in the next round. The U.S. wins the group handily and putting forth some of the best that we've seen, and it's been just an absolute joy to watch.
Absolutely. You said it all.
Agreed.
Okay, well, now let's get into it because, Gian, your team, Ecuador, went from, I think, in everyone's eyes, an absolute shocking early group stage exit to the world, seeing like, wow, how did this Ecuador team not score? How, what this tough kind of just the way the luck drew and the way the games were going, that just nothing went their way, to being able to win against Germany and make it out of the group stage. And now, I mean, the doors reopened everywhere. But just as an Ecuador fan, how have your emotions and processes been over the last couple of weeks?
Look, to be honest with you, I can do an entire hour episode
sure
on Ecuador in the group stage. So I'll keep it as brief as possible. Ecuador has been a surprise for me in various ways. I guess a surprise and not a surprise. Not a surprise in the sense that I always knew from the beginning that they were going to have a tough time scoring. They had the defense was never an issue in my mind. I mean, you're talking about a team that has Pacho and Hincapié that just faced each other in a Champions League final. Joel Ordóñez that plays in Brujitas in Portugal. You have Estupiñán that plays in Milan, and then in the middle you have Moises Caicedo that plays at Chelsea, and Pedro Vite that's looking like he's going to make a jump to your Tottenham. Ashley, I don't know if you heard about that recently. Yeah. So that was never an issue. But then you look up front, and they were the team that scored, I think, the least or close to the least amount of goals in the South American qualifiers. And that remained true throughout the group stage. They had a tough time scoring. I also think Group E is one of the toughest. There's two of the toughest groups in this World Cup, Group E being one of them. And that game against the Ivory Coast, I knew it was going to be tough. Unfortunately, they had chances to finish. Ener Valencia, the historic goal scorer for Ecuador, probably not the best or the brightest spot in his career at this time. Probably shouldn't, in my opinion, still should not be on. He should be like either a Luis Suarez looking from the sideline or on the bench in case you need that, that extra spark. Had multiple chances against the Ivory Coast, couldn't finish them, unfortunately. And then Ivory Coast, as you need in football, sometimes it's luck to get through to the, and they scored at the last moment. Then Curaçao, I almost put all of my Ecuador jerseys in a bag and gave them to my father-in-law who needed shirts to paint after that Curaçao game. I was so annoyed. Crazy. We gave Curaçao their first points ever in World Cup history. Great for Curaçao. Beautiful story. I loved how excited they were. But from my side of the coin, I if it was up to me, I wouldn't have given them a point. It was just incredible. They could not score, which is a story again for Ecuador. I mean, there were chances after chances. It looked like it looked like they had put a spell on that goal. Like, it was incredible. Yeah. And then against Germany, it was just a different game for Ecuador. I knew that they were going to have an easier time than Curaçao, which sounds weird enough that they're going to have a tougher time against Curaçao than Germany.
Maybe you knew about Germany,
Curaçao sat back, and for a team that can't score to play against a team that sits back in a low block, it's basically impossible. Germany, we knew that the spaces were going to be there. Germany was not going to sit back. They were going to try to be a protagonist. They were going to try to score, and that made it easier for an Ecuador team that was able to pull it off. So now we play against Mexico. That's who we face. On paper, Ecuador's 10 times a better team than Mexico is on paper. I'll say it. I mean,
10 times?
10 times better than Mexico. Moises Caicedo alone is worth more than their entire roster. And then that's not counting Hincapié and Pacho.
We're not playing Monopoly. This ain't Monopoly, man.
Well, that's why I'm being very specific when I say on paper. On paper, on paper and on the field, there's different things. But the thing I'm most concerned about against this Mexico team is the home cooking that they're going to get. That home
big factor. Very big factor.
A huge factor. And then we've got there's some things that I expect from people on Twitter to say, but when you have media members on a TV show on Fox Sports,
what did they say? What did they say?
Telling the fans, the Mexico fans, the time that the team arrives and the time and place where they'll be spending the night at the hotel, and saying, guys, don't go out there and make noise. Don't shoot off fireworks. Obviously, winking their eye.
Are you serious?
I think that is, not a good thing.
They have noise canceling headphones these days, though.
No, but they don't need that information. They already have it. So I
know they have it. I think what irks me more is, again, I expect it.
They're showing favoritism. They're showing favoritism to them.
I like that. I've spoken about it on past episodes. I said that's one thing that distinguishes South America and Latin America from, we'll go in there, we'll make noise and I love that. But come on, you're a media member at Fox Sports, a big show. Like, don't be doing that. And for that reason, I just want to say, if you follow me on Twitter, between today and tomorrow, there'll be a lot of Mexico slander. And I just want to let you know, I love my Mexican friends. It has nothing to do with you personally. This is purely football, but I will be slandering the hell out of Mexico between today and tomorrow.
What about your coach's hair? Thoughts?
And Ashley, I know you've got a thing. I know you've got a thing about my. I know, Ash, you've got a thing for my coach, but
he's got beautiful hair.
But I'll tell you this.
I know everyone does not like
everybody has their taste. I'll say that, because this man looks more like an ostrich than Campana that you like. So
you started the slandering already on live on the show. This is fantastic.
He's a tough customer.
He's going all out. I love it. Let me tell you something quickly about Ecuador. Ecuador reminds me of Colombia in the fact, not just the shared heritage and the colors of the jerseys, but the fact that they, the last World Cup, they came in with a lot of fanfare, really, and they were a huge disappointment, and almost repeated that. And Colombia has had some of that history, but they've built slowly. And I think Ecuador is doing the same. And look where Colombia is right now. They still haven't won anything. They haven't done anything special, but they're playing and believing in a way they have not in any World Cups that I've ever seen them, ever.
Yeah.
So I believe Ecuador's building. But now this game, it's a tough game, and it's a wonderful game, because Mexico, we're going to see if they're for real. We're going to see if they're for real, because they got 9 out of 9, but they haven't faced a team like Ecuador. Now we're going to see if Ecuador's for real, because they have an amazing team, but they haven't played like it. Like some of those superpowers that we know that by name, they got the stars, they got the players, they got everything, the ability, but they just haven't put it together. Ecuador hasn't put it together.
Yeah.
But beware if they do, because if they do put it together, no one wants to face them.
The togetherness of winning on the brink of exiting, like, does that give everyone that like second breath?
They have the issue that Colombia has. They don't have, and I think they have better forwards, maybe, perhaps, I'm not sure, but they just can't score. Colombia has been able to score from different places, but Colombia's big issue is that 9, that center. Like, if Colombia right now had Harry Kane on their team, we'd be saying, oh man, we got a real chance.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what we say in Ecuador? If we had Lucho Diaz, we'd make it to the to the final. I mean, that's
too bad we can't do it.
No, we honestly joke around in the family. We joke around in the family that if we can create a La Gran Colombia between Ecuador and Colombia teams, we would win the World Cup. Because
the Gran Colombia, we would have had what? It was really big. We had Panama, Venezuela, Colombia.
But if we could combine Ecuador and Colombia, we would make.
Well, that's not going to happen, and hopefully, you guys beat Mexico, because I'm going, remember, for all the South American teams. But in the end, I just won one team in yellow, and that's Colombia, baby.
Oh, we may play in blue, so we could make it.
Mexico, by the way, though, in their 3 group stages, though, has not allowed a single goal. 3 shutouts. So for a team that has trouble scoring, that is a little bit of a scary.
Defensively, they're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Why did you pick that stat though to share? Like, why did you have to? I mean, I was up here and you had to share that stat.
Well, I said the hair first. I said the hair first, and you didn't accept it. So you didn't get. You left me no choice.
He called his coach an ostrich.
I mean,
that's true. Honestly,
you're slandering your own coach.
We'll see. I mean, but you know what?
That's amazing. He's just throwing slander everywhere.
Those moments, though, where we all thought after the first 2 games, Ecuador is going to be out. It would take a miracle to win.
We're in Group B. Oh my God, we're never going to finish.
And they did it, though. Like, that could be this, like we say at the start of the championship DVD, right? Like those moments. So there's every chance, and we'll have to wait and see. Okay, Group F. Well,
right, let's breeze through some of these so that we can get through.
Yeah, Netherlands. We spoke about. We think obviously, I think they'll win tonight. We'll have to see. But they're playing, of course, at a very high level.
We didn't get this one right. The only thing, the difference was Japan is actually above. And that's the
Sweden hasn't been great. Sweden hasn't been great. So I don't.
We're way wrong on this one.
Nothing to Tunisia obviously was a bit of a disappointment to everyone, but we'll see how it comes out. Okay, Belgium, Group G.
We got this one right.
We got this one right. Belgium, I feel similarly to Belgium as I felt about like Brazil or something, where like, yeah, they win and they could have their good moments and like you can see some great goals.
They don't look
But
good.
you don't have the belief, right? It's no longer.
No.
And Egypt.
No, they've got great waffles though. I'll say, but
Wow.
Belgium,
True.
no, Belgium. I
Are you
think
hungry?
you know what? It is dinner time. It's gonna
I'm
be
getting hungry too.
All right, well then
Maybe
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Spain.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Another
I got some things to say here. So, but go ahead.
Oh my God! I want to hear his slander because he's on fire. Go ahead.
I want to hear it too. Yeah, I mean,
Drop
we
it.
can really quickly say
Drop it
that
like it's
I think
hot.
I'll tee you up, Gian. Look, obviously Spain has had not as strong as we expected, but they're going to keep cruising. I think everyone thinks they're still they're powerhouse, one of the favorites to win. Cape Verde, absolutely amazing story. Believe it or not, my Uber driver who I had going to the airport last week was from Cape Verde, and it was awesome. He was so excited, and just the energy was great.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, no surprise there. But
Uruguay was a huge
eliminated in the group stage.
Disappointment.
What do you think, Gian? Because to me, that was a huge, shocking result that I saw, and yeah, everything has just fallen. Mark Bielsa, everything, not getting a flight back. I mean, the team is just an absolute shambles. The federation is in shambles.
Bielsa's gone. His career, I think, at this point, he needs to like rethink because his time has passed.
I was gonna say this really tarnished his legacy, in my opinion.
His time has passed. He's old school, and he's not bending or trying to at least understand some of these new players and the way that they practice or feel or believe. Like times change. The essence of football is the same, but sometimes no
adapting.
Different. That's the where he's not adapting, and then he's just snapping and they don't call him a logo for nothing. He's missing a couple
on him. He didn't need it.
So I think after this one, man, if he gets another gig, it's gonna be like a low budget national team somewhere, and they're not gonna pay him like he always requests a lot of money. So I think his time has passed. But Spain is another one of those powers that is not looking like that fantastic either, right? So that's where we're at with this.
They can grow into it. I think they will be growing into it. But all right, Gian, I need to hear you. Start with Uruguay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, look, what Xavi said is right. Bielsa is very rigid. He's very, this is my train of thought. This is how I manage my teams, and he's been doing the same thing for, I don't know, what is it, 30 years, 20 years? I don't know what it is, but he needs to adapt, right? And he didn't do that, and unfortunately, Uruguay suffered for it. Uruguay lost the tournament or got bounced and grouped from this tournament, not because of their game against Spain, but they didn't take care of business against Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. That's where they went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the 1-0 loss to Spain, it's like, okay, I mean, it's Spain.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the one thing that bothers me, the one thing that bothers me about Uruguay is I think that there's a systemic cultural from a football perspective issue with this team, and how they're probably brought up within the system, where it's an unhealthy and disrespectful aggression towards the opponent that I think needs to change for this Uruguay team, and for future teams to be able to excel and continue to do well, because they have good players. They have the aggression, the good aggression that they need to be able to play these hard games and the grit, but they lose their heads too easily. They lose hope and resort to violence in not a good way. And it's not something new. It's one of the reasons why a lot of South American football fans don't root for Uruguay. They don't like Uruguay because it's not only from the national level, it's from even in the domestic teams. When they play in a Copa Libertadores, for example, at the end of the game, if they're not winning, you already know how it's going to end at the end of the game when a Peñarol plays, when a Nacional de Uruguay plays. It's like that. And this Uruguay team just spent 90 plus minutes trying to injure every player possible. Not some more than others. Specifically, what is the one that I'm thinking of? Bono, whatever. The guy that got the red card in the 9th minute.
Canovio.
He spent 90 plus minutes trying to injure multiple players. He took Nico Williams out of the tournament. I don't know if Nico Williams is going to play another game in this World Cup.
That's on the referees, though. That's on the referees to allow.
100%.
They allow some teams more. They allow some teams more than others. And Uruguay has that reputation, and they let them play on the fringe a lot more than they would another team. And that's on the referees. But you know what? I think the weight of the history is what's getting on them, because they haven't really won anything important in a long time. And then this whole World Cup champions was like the past century when the World Cup began. So yeah, okay, you can count it that it's a star, but nobody ever saw it. Nobody's seen that. Nobody knows that.
But tienen mala fama. They have the history.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And they're very passionate, but I think they're not channeling it in the right direction. I think that you're 100% correct that they have talent on this team,
100%.
But one, they did not play as a team. They were fighting against their coach. The environment, everything around it was not positive. The best thing that happened to Uruguay in this tournament is a little girl named Francesca that they interviewed, and she was talking, and what she said was fantastic. I don't know if you guys have heard it or seen there's an interview. Look for it. It was hilarious. This cute little girl, and the eyes she makes and the things she says, and like she's spot on. She's like talking about Bielsa, he's got to go, and this, and she's like, Valverde, my grandpa was asking me if he played because he couldn't, like she was hilarious.
Yeah.
Said, you know a lot about soccer. She goes, yes, I do. That's the best thing that's happened to her in this tournament. That little girl was fantastic. Other than that, forgettable tournament for them. They need to renovate. They need to renovate. New coach, new mentality, new culture, and move. That's another. We said Bielsa was rigid. They've been rigid. They need to adapt and evolve.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, big surprise, big fallout that we're seeing, and we'll see how it changes, by the next Copa America, what it's going to look like. I think a huge stain on Bielsa's coaching legacy, though, one he really didn't need to do. So probably a lot of regrets everywhere there. All right. Well, let's talk about it, because the name of the show, and we've waited this long. Do you think, does Lionel Messi have any other setting except being the absolute greatest of all time? Look, as Inter Miami fans, we have had the privilege of the last 3 years watching Messi all the time and knowing that he's still playing at these ridiculous levels. The global audience,
now they know.
The South American audience, they see him for Copa America and more for Argentina, but the global audience, people in Europe and Asia and Africa, etc., haven't seen Messi as much over the last 4 years, and they are all saying the same thing, which is, how is he better than he was in the tournament that he won the World Cup in? Because what we're seeing right now, 6 goals in 6 goals in 3 matches, Golden Boot winner, gets a hat trick, is playing just like the best player in the world, and it's insane. He's 39 years old.
Put some respect on MLS. Shut your mouth. Take back all that garbage you said about him coming to retire, coming to a crappy league that the Americans don't know soccer. They don't know. They're terrible. Their league sucks, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Him and DePaul have been bring fantastic. And it's not just
DePaul has been great. Yeah.
Other MLS players at this tournament have shown up, and they're showing, you know what? Maybe they're not as bad as we think. Maybe there is something to this emerging league. And it continues to evolve and continues to get better. I remember the league when it first started. But let me tell you, the Premier League was not this way 30 years ago either. Yeah. They evolved because the Premier League was not what it is today, right? Yeah. And the MLS is not what it was 30 years ago. And it's evolving, and it's a very competitive, high-quality league. And it's showing because Messi has not lost a step, like you said. Obviously, he's an outlier, a phenomenon. There's nothing like him. So, you discount that. He's just greatness personified. But it's showing that, these guys in that league have been Cape Verde has a couple guys that play MLS. You know, the best player on South Africa, the center back, the 20-year-old Mukasi plays MLS. They're showing out on this tournament, so put some respect on MLS and put some respect on the GOAT. And I want to meet the GOAT, Colombia and Argentina, and round of 8 or whatever it is that they want to meet. And I want to see
the
that
smoke, huh?
I want the smoke because to be, you know what he said, man? Like Ric Flair said, "Woo! To be the best, you have to beat the best."
Yeah.
And they took us out. They keep, you know, Copa America. We're always like an inch behind, a step behind. And I said it from the beginning of this tournament. This is a tournament where Colombia has to go further and do more than they have ever done. And if they're gonna be something, if they're gonna make that jump into a different level of category, they need to do it in this tournament. And I want the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, Messi's just been incredible. And it's just, I was thinking a lot about this and how much this Argentina team depends on Messi. And then thinking about how much, and I'll say I've said it at times too. Like, I'm not going to pretend it's everybody else, how much I've complained sometimes about Inter Miami depending so much on Messi. And then I look at this, I'm like, it is what it is. Like, I mean, if it's Argentina Cup, without
even
him,
Barcelona,
you're the greatest. Yeah.
Even Barcelona depended on him. Like even Barcelona with their stars, you know, it was different when he was there and when he wasn't.
I mean, wait. So when you see Messi score 3 goals to lead Inter Miami past an opponent, it's like, yeah, don't complain. It's what every team needs. We a brace, a hat trick, and then another goal. I mean, Argentina has 8 goals in this tournament, 6 of which are Messi's. It's just,
he belongs to Inter Miami.
Crazy.
He's an Inter Miami player.
To see an Inter Miami player doing that on the world, and you know, Ashley, you say this so many times on multiple episodes. You talk about how, you know, if you were any team in the world, that you would pick Messi as your star player anytime. You talk about how he would be your best player in your 11 on any team, and you know, it's true. He's doing this in the World Cup. And, you know, if people wanted to say, "Hey, Ashley's wrong," then how the heck is she saying that? And their excuse was, "Come on, he's in MLS. He's doing this in MLS. He's doing this against Atlanta United. He's doing this against whoever." No, he's doing this on the world stage in a World Cup. I mean, it's just honestly been incredible, and it just, as you said, Xavi, to see this and then be reminded that he's in MLS, he's on your team, and you get to see this guy play every weekend at home.
Greatness.
It's honestly been incredible. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I tell you what, tomorrow you start him for Tottenham. You start him for Real Madrid. You start him for, I mean, Liverpool. I can name, and he's gonna be better than everyone. Like, he's the best. And I will say, Argentina overall, everyone wasn't super up on Argentina, you know, being like, yeah, Messi's great and they'll be okay, they'll be good, but I don't expect them to win again. There's the way this team plays together and especially with Messi at this level, I won't be surprised 1 ounce of me if they win the World Cup again. That's how that team. So we were saying it about the US. Obviously, this is a much better and bigger example of it. And yeah, Messi is obviously above everyone else, but outside of Messi, the other 10 players play exactly like a unit, knowing exactly what to do, how to do it for each other, the team, the family, the passion. When Argentina's together and on top, like, I'll take them over basically anyone. I mean, France and Spain, it'll definitely be a toss-up, but Argentina, especially with the way Messi's playing, Argentina can win this World Cup.
They got to be the favorites. They have to be the favorites. You have the GOAT. You have your favorite player's favorite player on that team. So they still have to be the favorites. They're the champs. And
the last 3 intercontinental tournaments they've won.
And our roads to the World Cup, to the championship, to that trophy lead to Argentina.
Right now,
I shouldn't say this because
are you going to slander?
No, this isn't slander, but I'm curious. You probably feel the same, Shai. I know I'm on a podcast about Messi's Inter Miami, but I'll say this.
What are you going to say?
I'm not rooting for Argentina. They're not my.
I'm
my
rooting.
team.
I'm rooting for all my South American teams, and then except when
I'm-
they playoffs.
Well,
I
no,
want
yeah,
them to
that's
win,
what I'm trying to
and
say.
I
Like,
want the smoke. I want the
Yeah.
smoke and I want to play them, and I want to Colombia to take them out, and I think they can.
Okay, but if it's
Well, that's what
Argentina
I'm saying.
versus France in the final again,
I'm always going. I went for Argentina. I've never been when I was a kid, and I'll be completely honest. When I was a kid, Colombia didn't qualify very often, almost never. Like I saw them the first time was in 1990 in the World Cup, right? And they had been 28 years before that they qualified to World Cup. So I always rooted for Brazil. I was always a Brazil guy. And then lo and behold, this guy named Diego Maradona arrived on the scene, and everybody loved Maradona. And I was like, I love Brazil, but I love this guy. But I've never been an Argentina fan. A fan as far as respecting the team, loving the way they play, their quality, their flair, their passion, the culture, the fans. I love that, but I've never rooted for them. I've always rooted for Brazil. And then now that Colombia actually makes it to World Cups, obviously, and I have Team USA, right? So they've never been like on top of my radar. But I did go for them against France, especially because Mbappe was talking garbage, talking about how much Europe was way over South America, how European soccer was way over South American soccer. And he said that garbage last World Cup, and it came to bite him in the butt, which I'm glad, because I think France is amazing, but I think it's going to bite him in the butt in this tournament because we already have one tightened down by Paraguay, and I think a few more are going to go down. In South America and Africa, South America and Africa are going to be up there with France. I think France is the team to beat.
I'll go for Argentina until they match up against either Colombia or Ecuador or the US. I'll root for them. Once they reach that level, those are, as I said before, those are my three teams.
That's fair. It's been amazing, though.
Group K.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you start us off, Xavi? Colombia. What have we
Well,
seen?
we had faith. We had faith, right? We had faith in the players because we've seen them up close. We've seen the process. We've seen the last few years. And then what specifically led me to thinking that they could win this was the process for Lorenzo. When it started, he had a time where they won 27 in a row. They beat Spain in a friendly. It was just a friendly, but these games are not friendlies. I have a guy who told me there's no such thing as a friendly, just an unofficial match. Because these guys at this level, there's no such thing as friendly. They whack each other and they go and it's respect and prestige. So Colombia beat Spain in Spain, and then they beat Germany, right? So during this process, and they were playing really well. And then at the end, it teetered off a little bit, and things were not looking great, and they didn't do great in qualifiers. But the core was there, the belief was there, and then they started to put a couple of things together. The coach, to me, has been one of the huge differences, especially in this tournament, where they thought he was borderline incompetent. People in Colombia, like some of these media guys, I never thought that. But I thought he could do better, and he has been. He has been so much better reading the game. He outmanned Portugal. The coach, his tactics, the way he drew the game plan, his subs were on point, and I think that's a big plus. The team is believing. This team has faith. The team has faith, and that game against Portugal really told me, you know what? It's real. It's real. Yeah. With the tie, they're in. And past Colombia squads would have waited, given the ball to Portugal, and try to play it out and see, okay, and we're given their luck, they would have lost 1-0. Well, this squad didn't do that. They said, okay, you know what? We're here to win this World Cup. We believe we can do it. We think we can do it. Our time is now. Portugal, Cristiano, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, Nuno Mendes. You guys are good, but you know what? So are we. Let's go toe-to-toe. And this is the first time that I've seen them go toe-to-toe against their opponent. Anybody, whoever's in front of them, we're going to play our style. We're going to impose our style, and we're going to keep going. And we're going to go for the win. And I love it. And you know what? If they go down in a blaze of glory in this tournament, I'm still going to be happy. But I believe
Gian?
that they can do something.
I just know that Xavi mentioned toes a bunch of times, toe to toe, and it's. I don't.
There's another toe I was gonna say, but I'm not gonna say because might get censored. But no.
But I think that the toe has been a controversial thing as of late with the
You,
VAR.
you know they showed that was the wrong frame, right? They showed that was,
I saw
and that's the
Archio
first thing I
Var.
said. That's the first thing I said when when I watched it live. I said, "There's no way," because if they took and then another VAR company or somebody like showed the first contact, the frame of the first contact, the guy's obviously behind him, and then they took a different frame where the ball's already a little bit off his foot, and obviously he's taking a step forward and he's by a toe. So you know what?
But I think it's purposeful. It's purposeful.
Penaldo. They didn't want Penaldo to look back.
There's a reason why they don't show these things, and they keep playing, and then 15, 20 minutes later, hey, look,
let's figure it out. How do we fix this? How do we fix this? We screwed up. How do we fix this?
And I don't understand the need to show us animations. Show us the actual players.
Why take the glory away from this team?
You both sound like old men yelling at clouds.
Well, this team has never won anything. The team has never done anything, and they just outclassed one of the favorites for the tournament. The team, to me, that has the best midfield on paper, right, in the tournament, and they simply outclassed them with a bunch of guys. A 22-year-old kid, debutant, who's playing like his 6th or 7th, starting game with the team, who's been fantastic. One of the revelations of the tournament for Puerta. And John Arias, who Wolverhampton said, oh no, they discarded him. No, we can't use this guy. And he's been one of the fabulous players in the tournament. So it's a bunch of misfits and a collection of guys that have just risen to a different level. And I just think it's the faith that they have in each other right now. And well, they're gonna need some of that faith because they're gonna go against this witch doctor guy. And so they gotta they gotta put it together. They gotta put it together. But I believe that the team is in for a historic run, and it has to start with Ghana. It has to start with Ghana. So Portugal is still solid.
Yeah.
We'll see Congo. Congo's tough. Who do they play? And we'll see in the next frame. Oh my God, we're over an hour.
I know. Yeah,
we might have to do another show for the other part, man.
No, but I agree. I think Colombia. It's been great to see. They've been really strong. Very enjoyable. The fans as well. It'd be great to see a deep run from them. And Portugal. Look, I mean, Ronaldo got 2 goals. I'm happy for him in the last game. I will say, though, honestly, the Portuguese team overall, and I'm not going to just pinpoint it on Ronaldo as much as everyone wants to. The overall Portugal team has been a little underwhelming in this tournament for how skilled they are top to bottom. You're seeing a couple great players and great moments, but it doesn't. I thought they'd have a stronger presence and maybe they'll grow into it more. Again, I don't think you can just fully blame Ronaldo, but overall, like to me, they don't feel like a strong sum of parts, right? They feel like a lot of individual good. And in order to win, you got to be able to be more together. Yeah.
All right. So Group L, we actually got that one right too. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. We got before we go on to
tough group.
Anything you wanted to say about England?
Yeah, just look, obviously, it's been kind of like it's been a roller coaster of matches for England. I think the way they started against Croatia, it was an absolutely fantastic result. Then the tie versus Ghana was difficult, and then versus Panama, you had to wait until the end to see the goals. It happens to England a lot in the tournaments where very quickly the energy can get negative, and where like not taking your moments, not taking your chances. But I gotta say, I believe in Thomas Tuchel. I think that he makes adjustments and he knows how to win, and he knows how to he's not afraid. He says to his players, you better not be afraid either, or else I'm taking you out. And that goes a long way. And look, you're seeing Jude Bellingham playing at his best. Maybe I don't think he was as strong for Real Madrid this past year. He's playing amazing. Harry Kane's the best striker in the world, argue with the wall. And when if he can sniff a chance of goal within that 18-yard box, unless there's a Ghanaian witch doctor, I'm not betting against it. And just overall, you're seeing.
What's the guy's name? That guy's winning the World Cup. He's got so much coverage and people and social media and people putting on him. Now, he's become famous. I wouldn't be surprised he has his own YouTube channel or starts his own TV show or something. It's crazy. I can't believe they're giving him so much press.
You have Marcus Rashford. You have Declan Rice. You have Morgan Rogers. I mean, you have so many players, so much depth, so much greatness around the whole squad. it'll be a tough road as well, but I like the team, and I really like Thomas Tuchel. I think that there's a lot of opportunity with him. He knows how to win games as opposed to previous England managers where it felt like they were trying not to lose. He tries to win. Do you know what I mean? Like just that difference in
100%.
in the feeling. And so
So
hopefully
you feel it's coming. You feel it's coming home,
I hope so. I mean, obviously
or it's already
US
home.
it's home right now. So if it stays in the US, hell yeah. Argentina, I love Messi, so I wanted to do well. But England, very important to me where I used to live, a lot of friends, a lot of family. It's they deserve it. I think the players I love. And so I'm hopeful coming home. Hopefully, maybe we'll see.
All right, let's pull up we got a game
All right, yeah,
now
now
at
let's get
9.
to
We
fun
got
stuff.
let's do this. Let's go and pull up this bracket and go really quick. Just on the last 32, the three of us will say who we think is passing, and we'll move on quickly. That way we can finish this up in time for the game. All right, so
I think
let's just do
Paraguay
the last
passing.
32.
Paraguay. Wow, oh my God, that's risky, Gian or Xavi. That's risky.
All right, so France, Sweden. France.
Viva la France.
Yeah.
Viva la France. All right. South Africa, Canada. Obviously, Canada.
I mean,
wow. Talk about
I've been 2 for 2
Mr.
so far.
Obvious.
Only
I'm
just.
2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2.
All right. All right. So we got Netherlands, Morocco.
Netherlands, but it'll be a hell of a game.
All right. So Netherlands, you got Netherlands? Or,
Yeah.
Who'd you say? Sorry. Netherlands. I got Netherlands too. Who you got?
All right. So I'm gonna go against you guys and just say Morocco.
Morocco, and it can happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Morocco's that good. I'm just not gonna go against the what is it, the analyst, the financial analyst.
Yeah, right, exactly.
The Economist.
The Economist. Portugal, Croatia. I'm going Portugal on this one. What do you guys say?
Portugal, but it's not convincing yet.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm gonna go against anything you guys say, so I'm gonna go Croatia.
Anything we
Croatia.
say. Okay.
All right. Spain, Austria. What are you guys thinking? No,
Spain.
Okay, Spain.
I'm gonna go Austria.
No.
Austria.
They actually have no. All jokes aside, they actually have a chance because Spain has been underwhelming.
Yeah.
They've been underwhelming, and Austria played a pretty strong game against Argentina. It's just Argentina's got too much firepower, and at the end they was it Argentina? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think they're a better team than people think. So if Cape Verde took them to 0, I think Austria opens up and plays. But I'm gonna go Austria. Let's go.
Going Spain on this ride. You let's Xavi, no more cheating, man. You gotta pick
No, I'm agreeing with this. I'm agreeing with this one here. I'm going with the US all the way.
Let's go.
All right, US. Belgium,
yeah.
Senegal. I think this one is gonna be close, in my opinion.
It's gonna be close.
It's a toss-up. I'm going with Africa, Senegal.
Are you?
Africa. Oh, this is Africa. I'm going Senegal on this one. I really think they're gonna. Belgium just hasn't.
Belgium always breaks your heart. Belgium always breaks.
I think Belgium, but it wouldn't. I just see Belgium, but it could be Senegal. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm going for Brazil here, so
you're so good.
I'm 3
for 3. 3 for 3. Ivory Coast, Norway. This one. I honestly don't know. Man.
I'm not gonna go against my Viking brothers.
Yeah, I'm
you're not going against
Norway.
Holland?
And also, by the way, first tournament for Norway, and obviously, and with Erling Haaland and Odegaard, a lot of people expectations, but they had never made it this far. They have played excellent and really stepping up to the plate. So you never know. Like they could not only can they beat Norway, I think they could beat Brazil. I mean, not only can they beat Ivory Coast, they could.
Wow, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of yourself right now.
But
I'm jumping on the boat. I'm getting on the boat too.
When you have Haaland up top and you got Odegaard in the middle and you got oh wait, but we didn't do it. We didn't time it. We should have gone boom boom.
Boom. Let's go. Okay.
All right, so then we got all right, Mexico, Ecuador. All right, look,
Ecuador.
Slander.
Go with what you really think. Don't just think of me.
No, I'm expecting Ecuador to take out Mexico. I'm expecting them to take them out because I'm expecting them to step up a little bit more.
El Tri, amigo, El Tri.
But
I'm honestly look. I don't want just to win. I want
Wanna look good doing
a
it.
shellacking.
Mexico's nickname
I just
Oh,
want
shellacking! Wow, now
a
you're asking for a
shellacking,
lot.
that's
They
right.
haven't.
Wait,
They
what's
haven't
Mexico?
played
Aren't
great.
they
They haven't played
L3
great. They barely got in by the skin and the chin.
Hey, but they beat Germany. They beat Germany.
But
And
you
that's
want
not
So did
easy.
Paraguay.
You want a shellacking?
Okay, but that okay. That I knew somebody would bring that up. That speaks more towards how well South American teams are playing than it does to say Germany was an easy
I agree.
opponent because Ecuador beat them. Because
I agree.
I mean that's props to Paraguay. That was not an easy game whatsoever. So I'm going Ecuador 5-0 against Mexico, and we won't hear about Mexico for another 4 years.
What is the nickname of Mexico? Isn't it also L3? No.
It's El
It's the
Tri.
three. It's the tricolor. The
El-
three versus the three. The three.
There's La Tri y El Tri. So
Wow,
there's-
that's really
there's
funny
difference
though.
there.
That it is
England,
okay.
Congo. This is
England.
Could there be an upset here? Another Paraguay type upset?
No, England.
Xavi's gonna troll you. He's gonna say Congo. I know it.
Do not
Xavi,
troll me,
who's on
Xavi.
it?
I need the support.
He's slandering everybody. I mean,
I've only slandered two
obviously-
teams:
obviously-
Uruguay and
obviously-
Mexico. They're the only ones.
Obviously, England should be heavy favorites, but this is a Congo team that took Portugal to the brink, held them back. So this is a tougher game than people think. England should be, so I'm gonna go with them. But I think this is a match to watch.
England.
To watch. Yeah,
I'm going England. I
Thank
do
you.
think Congo's gonna make it not easy, but I really don't think
they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They should say goodbye.
Yeah. All right. Argentina, Cape Verde, Cabo Verde. What do we think?
Argentina.
Argentina. Cape
Yeah,
Verde is going to make
100%.
it harder than people think too, and it's going to be a tough game for Argentina.
Or
I don't
how
think
about
it's-
this?
Not
Cape Verde versus Messi is more what it is. I'm going
It's
Messi.
the world
Oh, no,
versus Messi
Argentina's
right
a
now, and
well-rounded
I
team.
don't think
Argentina's
I'm
well-rounded
choosing
team.
anyone over him.
Well-rounded team.
It's
When
tough,
one player
it's tough.
scores 6 of your 8 goals, I don't know about well-rounded.
Because they play for him. Australia,
That's
Egypt.
true.
Well, you're well-rounded because they're around him. You're right. Yeah.
Australia,
I'll-
Egypt.
Yeah,
Egypt.
This is
Egypt.
an open match. This is open.
Oh,
Anything? Let me think. Australia. Okay, yeah. Australia is. You'll go with Salah. Yeah, you would think Salah can pull it off.
Egypt has a lot of good players, honestly. Egypt,
But he's the man. He's the difference. He's the difference maker. He's their Messi.
Yeah, I'm going Egypt on this one.
This one's open right here. This next match is
This
wide
one is a toss-up. I'm gonna say Switzerland because, like I said, I was watching them in the group and I was like, oh, they had more players that I know that I thought. And for that reason alone, I'm going to choose Switzerland. But Algeria has Kansas behind them, so I don't know. I wouldn't bet against that.
I'm going for Algeria.
Algeria has Kansas behind them.
Kansas,
What does that mean?
Kansas,
Yeah,
Kansas.
because they
Her little- you didn't listen to her-
Kansas. You
her
didn't
little
listen to my
town
whole
story.
speech in the
They
first
are
Oh,
learning
that's
French.
true.
You didn't
Yeah,
listen to her
that's true.
story. You were busy slandering.
Lawrence,
people.
Kansas. They all learned French.
Algeria.
Okay,
I'm going for
that's true,
Algeria.
that's true.
Keep
I'm
trolling.
going to Algeria too. And little fun fact: Algeria in
I'm
Spanish
changing it to Algeria. I'm going to Algeria.
is not.
too. Sorry.
It's
no,
not
then I'm going
Algeria.
Switzerland.
It's Argelia. This guy is the
Algeria?
contrarian.
Yeah, I mean, está bien.
The contrarian here.
No,
Uh-oh.
Algeria.
Colombia gana is Colombia
Yes.
gana.
Yes,
Colombia.
Colombia gana.
I yes.
Pero
and it's a
which
tough.
doctor-
This is a tough game. So this is gonna set the tone and let us know what they're capable of. However,
powerful
Colombia
is a
plays,
witch
if they look
doctor?
good again, then we're gonna be all right. So yeah, I think Colombia takes this one.
Me too. I'm rooting for Colombia. Colombia gana, not just because of the matchup, but I think they do gana. So Colombia gana. All right. Sweet. So I think we did good here.
We did good. If we would have done this with the other group, we wouldn't have taken our 20 minutes.
I know. Well, here's the thing. When does this group end? When does this round end?
I don't know.
The last date, just look at the dates there.
I'm
but
looking.
I know
Okay, so it
Colombia
ends-
plays Friday.
It ends July 3rd. It ends Friday.
July 4th. July 4th.
And July
Colombia
4th
gana July
starts
4th
the
on
next-
Saturday.
Okay,
Which
yeah.
one?
So I mean, we're gonna probably have
Colombia
to do-
gana July 4th.
Are you sure? It's the 4th or the
That's what
3rd?
that's what it says.
Yeah,
on-
yeah,
this
it's
is
the
on
4th. It's
BBC.
the 4th.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. I'm going to be able to celebrate 250 years of this amazing country and then hopefully
Plus
Colombia
Colombia.
victory. Oh,
That's,
man, it's
that's
gonna
an
be a
amazing.
That's gonna be a wonderful.
You got to
of
do the
July.
fireworks. You got to do the
I love it.
fireworks.
All right, well, we'll definitely do another episode either, I think, maybe probably before the semifinals or something like that. But thank you, as always, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Gian and Javi, for participating. And thank you to the CONCACAF and North America for hosting so far. An absolute stunner of a World Cup. Energy's been great. The people have been great. The games have been great. And let's keep it going and you know, go USA.
USA.
USA, Ecuador y
USA.
Colombia. Vamos.
That's it. That's it. Let's go.
All right, have a good one.
All of Americas. All of the Americas.
Let's do it.
Peace.
Peace.